I grew up in Switzerland, and I spent my summers in Sweden because my mother is Swedish. And my family in Sweden, we have a cabin in Hälsingland, and there my great-grandmother used to weave.
My grandmother is a weaver, not now because she is too old, but she has like 4 or 5 weaving chairs at her home.
And the house was full of carpets, curtains, and all kind of textiles that were hand-woven, but also fishing nets and different kinds of things that we were all using in that special place.
And when I was very young, I was playing hide and seek with my sister and with my cousins, and we were playing around that weaving chairs. And since then I've always been interested in weaving because I was so interested in how it worked, and it has been a big part of my life since I was very young.
I think it really marked myself, like it marked me as a child, and it's something that I'm still carrying today.
My grandmother was a weaver, her mother was a weaver, and her mother was a weaver as well. But by the time I was born, the only sign of that were all rugs and fabrics made by their hands. And as I look at them with more attention now, I can feel there is something for me to discover.
It was an ambivalent situation because at first I was like, this is hard, you have to be very concentrated, and it was hard, so I got a little bit, not angry, but irritated. But then when I started, it was like a magical moment, because then you got one with a loom, you know.
What do you mean when you get one?
I mean that there are moments, not always, but there are moments when you're sitting in the loom and you're working.
Your hands are occupied, so they are busy. So sometimes you have to think with your body instead of thinking with your mind. I mean, it's very satisfying to be able to stop the mind at some point and just concentrate on the work you have on the loom.
You forget where you are, the surrounding.
When I stay here and work, I don't recognize my body anymore because I forget about my mind and my body. For me, and I know for a lot of other more experienced artists, they experience this quite wonderful feeling of forgetting themselves.
That's what I'm kind of a little bit one with the loom, that you're getting into a flow and you feel that you are in the rhythm.
So many parallels that I find with weaving and the universe, but the rhythm especially. How does it feel when you're in the rhythm?
For me, it's absolutely a kind of like going into a different level of concentration. It's a lot about being a listener.
Looking into sustainability from within in terms of just being aware of your environment, naturally wanting to care. It feels like that kind of interest sparks when you're, well, at least for me, it sparked when I'm going inwards, when I'm in connected state of mind.
Mm.
So I wonder if there's some kind of connection.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a link. I really see the potential of doing weaving for a healing purpose.
It's absolutely a way to get calm and to get down to earth.
Some people have yoga or other things. I have weaving. That's what I used to say.
This is kind of a mindfulness. I would also say that I don't feel that lonely when I'm working. I will just directly go to my loom because I know that if I'm working, I don't feel that same loneliness feeling or the feeling of loneliness in the same way.
Why is that so?
Because when you are so into something and you're working, you're sitting in the loom and you're weaving, you are the thought is only, or your thought is only on what am I doing now. It's not what will I eat day, or what is the friends doing there? You are here, you are now, you are present. When you as a human are in contact with the material, you are creating one. And that's exactly what I am searching for.
There's this philosopher, Marianne Woodman, she was talking about holding the tensions of the opposites, and how in life we often hold the tensions of the opposites, like it's like the sweet spot. And it really reminded me of weaving in some way. It's like something interesting happens because you're bringing the vertical lines and the horizontal lines, and they create this...
An object, yeah, absolutely, yeah. And that's how life is also built in a way. It's never straight, and it's never vertical, and it's never horizontal either. It's just both that are intersecting each other. And
it's all about tension, really. The existential level of the threads crossing and splitting.
Could you talk a little bit more about that crossing and splitting?
The binding is the energy, the meeting, and then the separation, that those forces are, that those movements create everything. And so for me, that is with me when I weave, what is holding it together. Does it make sense?
It does. I'm just thinking about that the universe is consisted. It's created of two movements, and it is expansion and contraction.
Yeah.
And that they happen on different levels. Like you can go to Big Bang was an expansion, and it's gonna contract, but also to the most minuscule breathing of the cells and cells dying, and everything is just expanding and contracting. Life also is created. This whole material thing. It's this fabric that is magical.
what fascinates me, it's really the fact that from a thread or both or two threads, you can build like a bigger surface. You can build a structure, and it's like being in the nature, in the real nature, when you are in the mountains or on an ocean and you feel just little.
The fascination is there in an instant. What is this? How was it made? Why? And what do we do with it now? From that fascination, you have your starting points towards the dialogue and the working together, making the thread.
I hope, of course, that, and that's also maybe why I'm doing what I'm doing, it's that we are carrying a knowledge that is ancestral, like it's so old, and I hope that this will also keep on existing. Yeah, you can do so much things with weaving, and I hope we will, as human beings, continue to believe in that technique to bring change.
Out of chatter, chaos. Melody of silence arises. Embracing chaos, you find patterns. Embracing patterns, you weave the chaos. Everywhere you seek, and I mean everywhere, there is the you looking right back at you. Nothing but a mirror. So are you. So are you. Thread after thread after thread. Matter shaped by creativity. Loved into existence out of necessity. Fascination. Desire. Matter creating matter. Creating matter. Creating. So here you are, in the center of the wheel, carried by the rhythm. And the wheel keeps spinning. Surrender. We all long to rest our mind. Listen to the universal heartbeat. All you see is you. All you see is you.